Hey, it's King McKay. Now, in my previous review and my preview breakdown, there were a few things from that episode that were absolutely amazing, and huge, theories were sparked off them and all this awesome conversation. I didn't really cover it in depth or at all in my review, so I'm going to cover a lot of that stuff in this Q&A, as well as some other questions as well. I'm sorry I couldn't get to all you guys' questions, but I just got the main ones that a lot of you guys repeating, so let's get into this. To start this off, we're going to go with this non-related Game of Thrones, very simple and easy answer question. Did Aria actually fucking die? Okay, you guys were very vocal on your opinions of what happened to Aria. Is she going to survive? Did she actually die? Is the waif just like a counterpart? And some of the main theories you guys brought up were the Aria is actually the waif as well, it's just two parts of her personality fighting over each other. The other one was that Aria wasn't actually Aria at all, it was Jaqen testing the waif or something like that. And I believe that one of those things have to be real. I don't believe that the Aria that we had at the end of the upper episode was the Aria that we had previously. Because, one, she used her right hand, not her left hand, when she's left-handed, to toss the coins and pick it up and all that kind of stuff. And she even had the other hand behind her back. She walked different, she talked different, she acted different, she had different hair, different clothes, different everything. And we don't know where she got it from. Also, she had all this money on her and stuff, which people probably assumed, I assumed at first that she just stole it, but they didn't give us any of that context or any reasoning behind it. So I'm actually questioning where that kind of came from. And then we also had Aria walking around in public, all just talking to people and stuff. She didn't react to anyone indifferent. She was hiding in a corner with the lights off, with Needle on her lap, not going to sleep when we last saw her, and now she's brazenly walking around Bravos. It's clearly not the Aria we had before. Now, why is it not the Aria? Is it because it was Jaqen? Is it because of the waif? I can't tell, because the show just does not give enough detail for those kind of things. We can look at these different evidence points that we see in the show and stuff, and make predictions off that, but it's very hard to get solid ideas when you have these two conflicting, really well supported theories, especially in the show, because in the books you can normally look at it gives a lot more detail, you can look back, but because it's been so different from the books, it's so different from what we've seen in the past, it's super hard, because the show has made characters do uncharacteristic things a lot of the time, like this Hound renewal is really weird, and the timeline's all off, and then we've got this whole bunch of other things where the characters are just too different to what their personality was, just to forward a plot, which makes it too hard to predict what they can do next if they're not going to be like what their character should be. So I've heard those two theories. Tell me your theories on what Aria is, how she's alive, who it was, everything. It's so awesome to read your guys. I didn't reply to all of them because they were very repetitive in some of the main theories that came across. But oh my god, there was some eye-opening shit. Some of you guys had some bang-on theories. Some of you guys had some brilliant, interesting ones. You had some crazy ones. Oh, it was really awesome just to hear your guys' theories. You guys are blown away. That was just probably the best part of yesterday, reading through all your Aria theories. Just the best part. Do you think we'll ever see Yi or the Stone Pillars in Essos? Now, myself, I believe the Song of Ice and Fire does not cover the global, politics and wars going on at the moment. I still think there's tons of really interesting and big things happening we don't get in the story. And I think Yi and a lot of the Essos stuff is things that, outside of, Daenerys storyline, those kind of things will not be covered. There will be side stories on them, probably spin-offs, TV series and things like that, and we may get them in that, but for this series I don't think we'll get much on Yi or the other castles or Stone Pillars or anything like that, because it's just too much, it's too broad, it's too big of a world. But I would really love to see a spin-off series based off in these different lands, because they are really interesting and they've got some pretty cool cultures in them. Do you think the Glovers have taken the role of the Mandalese from the book? Now, I don't think the Glovers have a huge part to play in the Northern story much this season. I feel like they just wanted to make sure we knew that not all the houses were supporting the Starks and would follow them, and for good reason. They wanted just to give us one example of a house that strongly and firmly has gone through hell because of the Starks, and the reasonings were why they won't join them, and that's pretty much the main purpose behind them. It's kind of forcing them into this position where they need to have either Blackfish's help and the Veils of the army and all that kind of stuff, forcing Sansa to kind of trigger that part. Speaking of the North, do you think the letter that Sansa wrote was to Peter Baelish? Now, I didn't talk about this in my review, but I do believe that was to Peter Baelish, because Sansa was forced in this position by the lack of support from some of the houses like House Glover to bring in Peter Baelish, even though she strongly didn't want to. Whether Sansa likes it or not, he's in one of the most defendable and best positions in the North, even though for some random reason the show keeps fucking flicking it back and forth between people who could take it. but Sansa needs their help, and it's going to go to that point in the Battle of the Baskets in episode 9, where there's huge fight going between the Wildling armies, where Jon is mustered up, and they're fighting, and they're losing, they're getting surrounded, we hit this wall shield, and they're about to lose, and the Veils of the army, and Blackfish, and all that stuff arrive to win and save the day. And that's going to be the cliche, but pretty awaited ending that a lot of people have been waiting. I wonder who's going to die in this fight, because it's not going to be a toll-free fight. We'll probably lose Rickon, we might lose 1-1, and then will be some other bloodshed, but Ramsay will fucking finally die. What would your dream ending to Game of Thrones and A Song of Ice and Fire be? Now, my dream ending kind of was crushed a few times constantly throughout the series. I always have new dream endings, and then one of the characters that are very involved in my dream ending is killed off. But the ending I really want now is one that has extremely strong moral impact on the end. The single best parts of Game of Thrones throughout it is not the epic fight scenes, even though they're great. It's not these awesome ass fucking characters we get to meet like Aria and Jon and things, people you root for doing well. That's amazing and it's fun and it's cool and it's nice to see them succeed. But the best parts are the awesome schemes where you've been tricked and lied to and manipulated and they were foreshadowing there but you didn't get it, and then they get this awesome twist reveal that changes the whole game and leaves you starstruck and fucking awe at the majesty of Hold the Door. I want there to be an absolutely outlandish and brilliant twist to the White Walkers. I want the children and all the past stories and everything we've heard about to be collapsing around us to leave us with single truths that George R. R. Martin has placed through it all. I don't want cliche endings. I don't want the good guys winning. I want the epic scheming and majesty that made Game of Thrones so amazing that I'm willing to go through hell and back to follow it through. Also, I want Aria to be a badass. What role will Castle Black play now? With Ed being the 999th Lord Commander, will any significant character be the 1000th? Or will there be no Night's Watch at all? Now, at the moment in the show, we're not going to get a lot from the Night's Watch for a while, at least until some of the major characters we've been following comes back to the Wall. We won't get anything from them. But I don't think we are going to have people going back to the Wall. I don't think there'll be a Wall to go back to, because they removed all these important characters from the Wall, so if the Wall came down now, it would be the best time, because you can't have the Wall come down while Jon Snow's on the Wall, because then it'd be the most random and stupid killing of Jon Snow ever. He'd just be like, oh, he got crushed by some ice when the Wall came down. What a sad ending to a brilliant arc. So now that all the important characters, sorry Ed, you're not that important, but all the important characters have been pulled from that storyline, I believe it's just the perfect timing for either the Night King or some of the White Walkers to bring it down with magic or cross it or whatever, because there won't be the Night's Watch after this. I believe that the way that these histories and these houses have continued this like long-term Dark Ages forever, all these things will change by the end of the story. I don't think that the structure and the society that is in place now will survive to the end of the story. If Marjorie is pretending, do you think the High Sparrow knows it? Yeah, I think that the High Sparrow is very well aware that Marjorie is not sincere whatever with her belief and her, siding with the High Sparrow. But I also believe that he doesn't think that Marjorie can stand a big enough threat against him. He's very confident in his ability to be able to suppress any kind of outrage or rebellion or plans that she has or anyone else has in the city. Now, we know that Marjorie is still loyal to her house and not really following this fanatic stuff, and I personally believe that the High Sparrow knows that she's not sincere in what she does, but I don't know what her plan is, and neither does the High Sparrow, and that's the key thing. Her plan could be a lot bigger and vaster than any of us could hope for, or it could be pathetic, just last strings hoping to go as it is and try to rebel against them at some point, where only time will tell. When all is said and done, who do you think will sit the Iron Throne? Ash on the wind. What made you want to start making videos, and what makes you carry on? Now, I was a member of the Game of Thrones community and fans of many YouTubers on the site for a long time before I ever made any content. But it was definitely after reading the books and having these awesome theories and conversations with people in the comment sections that made me just driven to make videos, because I would write these huge paragraphs, I'd have these awesome discussions with people that would go like 100 plus replies, both of us back forward. I'm like, well, instead of doing this by text, which I'm terrible at, I could just make videos where I can talk about it and it'd be a lot simpler, and I could interact with people in the comment section on my videos. But to be real, those videos were absolutely fucking atrocious, so I feel sorry for anyone. There are people who are now supporting me, who supported me way back when I was making the shittiest videos in the world, and I don't know why they put up with it, but they did, and they were awesome for it. And it's pretty clear why I keep making videos now, because holy shit, there is nothing more amazing than just sitting there with all my friends and shit, going through the comments and looking at these brilliant ideas, theories, just people having banter. It's amazing. The community of Game of Thrones is brilliant, and the amount of range of ideas we get, discussion and conversation is more than a lot of the other communities we see on YouTube, and that's why it's one of the best ones to join into. Speaking of my amazing subscribers and awesome community, if you aren't part of that amazing and awesome community, you should become part of that amazing and awesome community. And if you're already subscribed, well, you've already succeeded in life. You've got nothing else to do now. You've fulfilled. You know, you can just sit around and relax and watch the world burn around you. Thanks for watching, and you guys are awesome. I'm just going to do some quick shout-outs. I can't talk people's names, but thanks to Jerry Sub1, Evadorn, King J Undo, Uno, oops, my bad, Neil on that Bali, Kazim, FD Doug, Sad Dolan, I don't know, Cole Buzin, Don, Durret, oh my god, Morzilio, Benjino Foloi, Storius Nolorius, oh my, is it Legios? It must be, I'm a New Zealander, I should know how to say that. JT, yeah, that's enough shoutouts for now. But I probably butchered all your names, but thanks for your questions and stuff. You guys are cool, and I'll see you guys in the next video.